Hello and a big welcome back to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2024 Dutch Grand Prix. The 4-week summer break is over and we are back to F1 once more. The final 10 races of the season kicks off in Zandvoort, right on the beach in Holland, in the Netherlands. And it is Lando Norris for McLaren on pole position. Now, Max Verstappen, since they reintroduced the Dutch Grand Prix, which is about 4 years ago, Max Verstappen's been on pole and won all 3 of them. This is the 4th iteration since the Dutch Grand Prix returned, and he has got a much tougher challenge on his hands if Max Verstappen wants to win his home race. It is, of course, a sea of orange in the grandstands. It is the Max Verstappen army. It's settings round these ends. But he has got a much tougher challenge to win this one than he has had for the last 3 times he's raced here. So I'm hoping for a great race. I will admit straight off the bat, it's not the most fantastic of race circuits in the world. I don't think it lends itself to Formula One particularly well. It's more of a sports car kind of track. But yeah, I'm hoping for a good race. I'm hoping it surprises me because I don't really remember much from the previous 3 Dutch Grand Prix, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. So I'm hoping for a bit more of a memorable one. I think the other 3 were just a slam dunk. Verstappen wins by 38 seconds kind of a scenario. But the second half of this season, well, since about round 6 or 7, it has been very competitive. Now, Max has obviously built up a 70-80 point championship lead in those first 6 or 7 races, where now they're eating into it. Lando Norris is eating into that championship lead a little bit, but we could do with... Lando Norris needs to win this. Lando Norris needs to win this from pole position. He's not been too great off pole position. I think the last 3 times that Lando Norris has been on pole position, he's not led at the end of lap 1, which is not a stat you want. So he'd be looking to turn that around. But yeah, it also depends which way the grid lines up in terms of is pole position on the inside or the outside. I don't know that. That I feel like's a bit crucial, because if Norris is on the outside, Verstappen's on the inside, they are going to go side by side into turn 1, I'd say. And yeah, then all bets are off. But yes, welcome to the stream. Anto's cat was on the keyboard or something. He's typing random letters in. Get your cat off your keyboard, Anto. And Dougie's in. 35 minutes to go. Less than that now. 14 minutes to go till lights out and a Formula One season gets back underway. Yes, Barry, welcome in, bro. Let's go, Lando. How's a red night? Red night. Oh, red wine. Still recovering. Yes, Todd, how are we doing? I'm well, mate. How are you? I'm glad to be back, bro. I'm glad to be back. It's been it's been 4 weeks since the last stream. I mean, I tried to do a bit of iRacing in it, but it's a bit dead, being honest. iRacing online, 1 billion views. No, but I'm glad to be back, doing the proper watch-alongs, because no one wants to see me on iRacing every single day for 4 weeks, so... I canned it, but yeah, glad to be. I'm so glad that summer break's over. It's been a long fall, but do you know the weird thing is, we've got 4 races now. I think it's I don't know the exact 4 races, but you've got here, and then it'll be Italy, Singapore, Azerbaijan, something like that, and then there's another 4-week break. They virtually don't race the entire of October, I think. They virtually have August and October off this season. It's a weird... I don't know who put this calendar together this year, but yeah, we've got like a 4-race stint in the next sort of 5 weeks, and then another 4-week break. So yeah, chilling. I'll never gain momentum on this channel. That's the problem I've got. I can never gain momentum because... You know what I mean? If you've got a football channel, football's endless. Football never stops. Even when it's international break, you've got England to fall back on. But in this game, unless I start doing driver transfer and bloody, technical director moves from Mercedes to Aston Martin for 2026. Ooh. Unless I start doing that, it's good. It's a stream every fortnight, so it's just one of them. It's one of them. I dig myself the hole. I got a lie in it now. But yeah, put you down in the spot exactly. Yeah, that does remind me, Suede, you are here, and everybody that does type a message in live chat will be entered into the virtual race that I host. That comes in tandem with the Formula One World Championship, where we race on iRacing. Well, I race on iRacing, and everybody else is sort of a computer-generated AI driver. Through that, we get championship standings and all the rest of it. 50 points for the win, down to 1 point for 20th. So yeah, get yourself in that. Kim's leading the way. I think she's got 342 points. And then we've got a tight battle for second. I think the gap between second and seventh in that championship is about 15 points. So yeah, it's really competitive. But yeah, get yourself in. If you get yourself in live chat, enters yourself into that Viewers Championship, which will probably be... you see, I'm working all week, evenings. I'm working till 9:30 all week, so it's going to be a late way. If I do Viewers Championship this coming week, it's going to be like 10:30 p.m. stream. literally, it's going to, because I'm not doing it in the morning. You can stick that. I'm not doing Viewers Championship at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it'd probably be it'd be late night settings for the next round of the Viewers Championship. Probably Wednesday night, something like that. Probably Wednesday night, but it's going to be like 10:30, 11 p.m. for that one. But yeah, you've got your spot, Suede. Yes, Sean Tant, welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the second half of the Formula One season. Can't wait to. I wish it was a better circuit, being honest. I wish we were coming back to the F1 after summer break, and it was like Monza. You know what I mean? Then it'd be different again. But we've got to get through the Dutch Grand Prix. You know, it's not usually a classic, is it? But I'm here to be proved wrong. I want to be proved wrong. I want the best Dutch Grand Prix we've ever had, by a long shot, to make this a little bit entertaining. Alpha United, I was over that about 10 minutes after the final whistle. Calling Hamilton P1 now. Oh, mate, nah. You haven't looked at this, Loz. Clearly, this is the starting grid. If you're backing Hamilton for P1, you know you need to have another look at this. Because not only did Hamilton qualify P12, he then got a 3-place grid penalty that put him 15th. But then Albon's been disqualified from qualifying for having a floor that's 3 millimeters too wide. So Albon's been yeeted to the back, and then Hamilton goes up one. So it's it's a strange grid. But we'll see Hamilton come through. How far through the pack he'll get. We're about to find out. But yeah, anything better than a top 6, you know, is a hell of a race, hell of a day for Lewis, I think. But yeah, Hamilton coming in. Hamilton, they said in commentary before, I didn't really realise Hamilton's won 2 out of the last 3 races. Like, man went 3 years without a win. He's won 2 out of the last 3 as Lewis. Such is the pack closing in on Verstappen, which is a godsend. And there are reports about Williams considering, yeah, Sean. I was just about to get into that. Because you know who they're talking. They know who they're talking about putting in that seat for the rest of the season at Williams. My boy, he might be back. He might be back. If you've been on this channel since I started, you know I'm a Mick Schumacher fan. So this season's been a little bit, do a cheer on Albon, do a cheer on Piastri, do a cheer. But Mick Schumacher was my guy. Man got dropped. He's not even here anymore. So I'm just floating about supporting whoever. But rest assured, if Mick Schumacher gets that Williams drive for, let's say, 7 or 8 races this season, you know your man's ordering some Williams merchandise. No, I wouldn't do that for 3 months. But yeah, the bottom line is, I hope Mick Schumacher does get in, because it sort of gets his foot back in the door then of possibly getting a seat for next season. But the options are running out, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be sort of a swan song in Formula One at like 24 years old. But yeah. sort of a debate whether Mick Schumacher's really was ever good enough, but I think he was, man. I think he was. But yeah, I hope Mick gets that. But yes, Salty Dog, welcome to the stream, bro. I had to set up your alarm. Oh yeah, you'll be on early morning settings over there. But yeah, welcome in, welcome back to the channel. Race starting in about 5 minutes. So make sure you do drop a like as well. Get yourself subscribed if you are new, or if you are watching not subscribed, you're into Formula One, thinking, who's this guy? Mate, Murray Walker. Take a seat, bruv. I'm here. Finally, Alpine has announced Jack Doohan. Yeah, I've not seen much of Jack Doohan. Has Jack Doohan had a year out from racing? Was Jack Doohan in F2 in 2023, was it? Has Jack Doohan just sort of been on the sidelines? I don't know much about him. He's a New Zealand driver. But I know it was his dad. Like, I think Jack Doohan, his dad, is a multiple champion in motorbikes. I might be wrong, but I think his dad is like a serious. I don't, obviously, the fact that I haven't heard of the name Doohan, I don't need to say it, but I don't follow the motorbikes. I have no idea, but I think from what I've heard, his dad was a big name in the, I don't know whether it's MotoGP or Superbikes or whatever. But yeah, so Jack Doohan comes from a racing background, shall we say. What else are we saying? Yes, Todd's in. Expecting to announce. Oh, mate, I can't wait for that. I'm so glad they're doing it as well. I'm so glad they're doing it. I'm so glad that Mercedes are dropping the goal. I'm so glad that they're taking the gamble, because it is a gamble at the end of the day. And it looks like it's 99% sure. You know, it's the most open secret in Formula One that Andrea Kimi Antonelli is going to be replacing Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, which I 6 months ago, I'd have been like, oh, there's an outside chance, but Mercedes will never take that risk. They'll be sensible, yada, da, da, da. But with Sainz going to Sainz going to Williams, you know, it's happening. It's happening. Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes. Mate, I do not know where to have my colours next season. I do not know who's going to get my support next season, because I'm so excited about the Kimi Antonelli thing. But then the Hamilton at Ferrari as well, that kind of has a bit of nostalgia, has a bit of like a draw to it for me. If you don't know, I was a big Lewis Hamilton fan growing up. Like, these days I'm more neutral, but going to Ferrari just reinvigorates the old Hamilton support that I have at the back of my head. Yeah, Mick Lawson. How are they going to get? I don't see the benefit of Liam Lawson for Williams, though. You know what I mean? But then what's the benefit of Mick Schumacher? Anyway, this is a starting grid for the 2024 Dutch Grand Prix. It'll be Kevin Magnussen from the pit lane. It's Alexander Albon from P19 after being disqualified from qualifying. Logan Sargent, P18, who didn't even qualify, so an absolute nightmare for Williams this weekend. Zhou Guan Yu from P17 in the whatever you want to call it, kick Sauber. It's then Valtteri Bottas P16, Esteban Ocon P15, Lewis Hamilton from P14. Can he get into the top 6 today? You've got Daniel Ricciardo P13. It's then Nico Hülkenberg P12. He has had a good season, Nico Hülkenberg, and he's going to kick Sauber next season. Well, become Audi. Then we've got Tsunoda, who's P11. Then we're into the top 10, Carlos Sainz P10, Pierre Gasly P9, Lance Stroll P8 alongside his teammate Fernando Alonso P7. It is then into the top 6 we go. It's Charles, Percival, Herve, Leclerc P6. It says Sergio Perez P5, looking to come on strong this second half of the season. He needs it. George Russell from P4. Then we are the top 3. Oscar Piastri for McLaren, Max Verstappen for Red Bull Racing, and on pole position is your boy Lando Norris. The biggest championship, maybe the only championship contender to Max Verstappen this season is Lando Norris on pole, but this time he has to convert it into a Grand Prix victory. We have seen many pole positions slip through the net, slip through the grasp of Lando Norris in his career. So this time he needs to make it count, because I tell you now, with 10 races to go and Max Verstappen with an 80-point buffer or there or thereabouts, if you've got any chance of beating him in the Drivers' Championship, you need to be beating him now. And also on top of that, you need some bad luck somewhere for Max Verstappen as well. Because if Verstappen gets consistent podiums, he doesn't even have to win. If Verstappen gets consistent podiums from now to the end of the season, he's winning the championship. So, and he will win a few races as well. It'll be mixed from now to the end. Verstappen will win 2 or 3, Norris will win 2 or 3, maybe Piastri will win 1 or 2, Hamilton might sneak another one, Russell might sneak another one. And so you're going to have this mixed second final 10 races where you're going to have 4, 5, 6 drivers winning the last 10. Now, that's not going to be enough for anybody to win the championship unless something happens to Verstappen where it's a DNF, it's a dodgy pit stop, they don't put the wheel on right, or I feel like they need, other than that, the only other scenario is that Red Bull become the 3rd fastest car, and then all of a sudden you've got 2 McLarens on the podium and Mercedes like 3rd and 4th every time, and Verstappen's finishing 5th, 6th, 7th every week. But I don't see that. Verstappen will drag that car around. Even if it is the 3rd fastest car, Verstappen will still rack up. He'll probably be on every podium from now till Christmas. So it's a tough one, but it starts today for Lando Norris. He has to beat Max Verstappen today. But yes, how are we doing, guys? Mick and Hulk at Sauber lineup. I know. I'd love to see Mick Schumacher back, but I just... Maybe he'll get a few races at Williams replacing Logan Sargent, but then where does he go for 25? Probably to a different category. But I hope he gets his foot back in the door. You know what I mean? At least, and then if there's some miraculous performance, then you never know. Everything can change, can't it? But you can only, you can only sort of promote yourself by actually being in the car and getting those results. Being on the sidelines is just horrendous. But yes, Farhan, welcome to the stream, bro. Kim's in as well. Pierre Gasly. Wait, who's DQ'd? Alexander Albon. He's still take part in the race, but he's disqualified from qualifying for an illegal floor on the car that was 3 millimeters too wide. But you've got to be strict with the regulations, because if you start being, you start letting a millimetre go here and there, before you know it's 10 millimetres, before you know it, people are just bringing illegal cars to the races, so you've got to be strict on it. So it's Williams' fault, they dropped the bollock, and Logan Sargent stuck it in the wall in practice and set the car on fire. So it's a horrendous weekend for Williams all in all. Horner admits Red Bull could be rent out Lawson. Yeah, I know. What do you think he's going to do? Lawson has to be on the grid next season. That's the problem that Red Bull have got. He has to be. I'm good, Anto. How's your head, mate? You joined Denv? Oh, did I? Yeah. Did I join Denv? Well, ask him. He's probably still in bed, him. Right. Let's have a do then. Who's winning this? Come on. What's the weather saying as well? We have had rain in practice and qualifying. I don't know. I don't think there's any rain forecast today, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. Today's also Max 200th Grand Prix start, yeah. And they asked him, will you get to 400? And no chance. Max Verstappen will probably go to 28, something like that. Go to 2028, and then he'll probably move on to endurance racing or something and try and pick up a few Le Mans victories and stuff like that. But yeah, Verstappen's not going to be in Formula One till he's 40 years old, like Hamilton and Alonso. It's just not. He's always said that as well. This is not a new development. He's always said like he's not going to be here for 25 years in F1. But anyway, here we go for the start of the Dutch Grand Prix. Formula One's back. I'm back. And let's have a race. It has been a long August, but we are here for the second half of the 2024 Formula One season. We're here in Zandvoort. The 5 lights are on for round 15 in 2024. And away we go. It is Lando Norris on the outside, but Verstappen's immediately got the lead. Lando Norris yet again lets it slip. Lando Norris once again lets a pole position slip through his grasp within 5 seconds of the race starting. Verstappen leads him away. We've also got George Russell, who has taken Oscar Piastri as well. So the top four then is Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Piastri. Then we've got Leclerc, Perez, Gasly, Alonso, Stroll, and Sainz is down to P10. Well, up to P10. I think he started... did he start P10 with the Albon disqualification? So it's as you were, but George Russell's made up a position, and obviously Max Verstappen as well has immediately taken this race by the scruff of the neck and said to Lando Norris, not a chance, mate. And this, to me, as well, and I always think this, and I know it's such a small detail, but to me, it is critical which side of the grid the pole position, where they line up, whether you're on the inside or the outside. And I know Ayrton Senna made a big deal out of that, and Suzuka in like 1989 or something. But it's critical because... And I know you're supposed to get more grip on the racing line on the outside, but I disagree with that. If it was me, I would want, and I would deem it necessary for the pole position marker to be on the inside. I think it's critical. I would love to see the stats of people that start on pole position on the outside. How often are they done into turn one? More often than not, and it is, you know, and that's it. It's over already. Nah, McLaren's quick, man. Nah, McLaren are quick, but it is Plan B. Exactly what Martin Brundle said. It is now Plan B for Lando Norris and McLaren. Plan A was slung out the window within 3 seconds of this race starting. Here we are then with Lewis Hamilton. He's got the slipstream on Yuki Tsunoda. David Cross got the drivers mixed up, as I often do, so I can't slate him for that. But Hamilton's just taken Yuki Tsunoda for P12. So it is Verstappen from Norris, Russell, Piastri, Leclerc, Perez, Gasly, Alonso, Sainz and Stroll. And there we go. Bottas having a look at Tsunoda then for P13. So Hamilton's made up a position, or a couple of positions from his P14 starting spot up into P12. For the sake of the sport, you're right, Rob. Putting them on the outside, honestly, it's not good, bro. Yeah, he stays until 34, 35. I don't think he'll stay as long as that. I think he'll be, what is he now, 26? I reckon by the time he's 30, 31, he'll be dipping out of it. And give someone else a chance at the championship. Nah, honestly, I feel like, I think his Red Bull contract runs to the end of 28. So this year and another 3 more. Season to about 30 years old. And then he'll think, right, Le Mans, here we go. Honestly, I do believe that. That's what he's always said. Too easy for a minute, the F1 game. Completed it, mate. It literally is. Like, it sounds like a joke, but it's actually true. Verstappen will turn around at 30 years old and go, completed it, mate. What more? What do you want me to do? Drive around in Formula 1 for another decade? There's other things out there. Do you know what I mean? This is not the only motorsport category in the world. You know, it is the pinnacle, but it's not the only one out there. So you wanna go down in history of being the greatest of all time. You got to have a look. You got to have a look round, and that's what Verstappen will do. You know, Hamilton, Alonso might spend 25 years in Formula 1, and that's their due, and that's the thing. But Verstappen won't do that. He won't be here at 39 years old going grey. No chance. Another slow start by Lando. I know, but do you not think my point about having the pole position on the inside is valid? And I know what they try and do is put pole position on the racing line. I know, I've realised that. Because, you've got more grip on the racing line, so you have the advantage. I'd want to be on the inside. If I'm on pole position, I'd want to be on the inside. Let him go round the outside of me. Or in my mind, let him try. But if you've got pole position and you're on the outside and your man in P2 gets an equal start to you, it doesn't even have to be a better start than you. Your man in P2 on the inside gets exactly the same start as you. He's having a go in turn one. He's having, unless the only caveat to that is if you're on pole position on the outside and you have a great start anyway and cut across immediately, which we've seen throughout the years. But I do think you're at a slight disadvantage having pole position on the outside. It's a bit of a dodgy one. Any chance of JA will be on today? One or two of them might pop in. There's always, mate, big up to the JA, man, because there's always a few people from the JA in this stream. So big ups and thank you all for supporting me because, Jamza and the JA are absolutely legendary community. And so, big ups to you all. And I realise, I fully understand that not everybody watching this stream is a big Formula One fan, and I try and accommodate for that, and I try and explain things if I can, and I appreciate that you know me from the JA, and you support me, and I back it. It's brilliant. It's been Lando himself being really bad. Yeah, Lando as well. I can't just blame the grid position being on the outside. Lando lets himself down on pole position. I think that is his weakness. Here we go for a replay of the start then. Bogs down a little bit and Verstappen's done. It's a narrow circuit, this, isn't it? I'd say it's a good third narrower than most circuits, this. It is narrow compared to most Grand Prix circuits. It's quite narrow, this. Well, down the pit straight it is. It's obviously wider in turn 3. If you're on the inside, 9 times out of 10 you'll come out on top. Well, yeah, maybe not as extreme as 9 times out of 10, but you're at a slight advantage. You'd almost prefer qualifying second and having your grid spot on the inside. Magnussen, on a replay, Magnussen's been bullied onto the gravel at turn 1. He's usually the one doing the bullying, but Magnussen's been absolutely slung and outbraked himself, gone out. Yes, Brownie, how we doing? Mate? No, we're not going to the Chester Gate. You're in Australia anyway now, so it's not happening anytime soon anyway. I'm sick of hearing about that pub, Brownie. It's just a pub in Stockport. It's nothing special. Fuck me. A pub that's got a karaoke set. Oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, it's just a scruffy pub down fucking town centre. I see. Verstappen's got that 1.5 second. He's out of DRS. He's just chilling. 200th Grand Prix for Max Verstappen. 3 Dutch Grand Prix wins in a row. He's going for 4. He's got the lead straight away off Lando Norris. They're all on medium tyres as well. That's something I haven't mentioned. So Hamilton, Tsunoda and Bottas are on the softs. So 12th, 13th and 14th are on the soft. But it's not working for Lewis. Lewis, who would hope to be in the top 10 by now, starting on the faster soft tyre. But he's still stuck down there in P12. So it's not working out for Lewis so far. Lap 8 is 72. Verstappen leads Norris by 1.3. You got Russell, Piastri, Leclerc's Leclerc's close behind Piastri, half a second. Perez just outside of DRS and Leclerc. Gasly's doing well at P7 in the Alpine. Then Sainz up to 8. So Sainz has passed both Aston Martins of Alonso and Stroll. And here goes Gasly under big pressure from Sainz into turn 1. Those videos make me like, yeah, they are funny. Max has started on pole numerous times and managed to keep himself in the lead. Yeah. So exactly. So I think it's, 80% that Lando Norris is not great on the start, and then 20% the fact that the grid position's on the outside doesn't help. It does not help. Because the thing is as well, it puts you on a better footing to fight as well. Even if the guy in P2, say you're Lando Norris on pole on the inside, and yeah, Verstappen in P2 gets a better start, you're in a better place to fight him because you've got the inside and you're going to have to force him round the outside. All right, if he does you round the outside, you know what I mean? All right, mate. But it's candy from a baby the other way around. Where if you're on the outside, it's candy from a baby, man. You've got to... If it was me, I'd be starting a petition. Every pole position on the inside. But yes, Brownie. Odds you go Hungary 1 year. Slim. I mean, why? I know it's quite cheap, innit? I know it's quite cheap, but Hungarian Grand Prix, I don't think it'd feature in my top 10 wish list, really. But yeah, I do appreciate it. It is quite a cheap one to go to, yeah. You're sensing a Gasly P3, are you? Spidey senses tingling. Gasly podium. You're having a laugh. Gasly would do well to finish exactly where he is now. That's a fantastic day for Gasly and Alpine. But he's about to get done by side. Listen, Gasly's going to finish 8th. I'd be pretty confident regarding something unlikely. Gasly's finishing 8th. Look at that. And as I say that, he's down to P8. Oh, but it is a good fight, though. Sainz versus Gasly into turn 2, into turn 3, and Sainz does get the position, albeit after a bullish fight from Pierre Gasly. But Gasly then does drop to P8, and that's probably where he'll finish. And I know there's still 61 laps to go, but... Rounding out on current forms, surely only a Swansea win. Oh, God only knows. Oh, cheers, Zach. Welcome him. Welcome to the stream. Spidey senses. Oh, no, you are. You, I must admit, you have had a couple of outlandish predictions that have come true, especially with regards to Pierre Gasly, which makes me think you're a little bit of a Pierre Gasly fan. He's the most underrated driver on the grid. I think Gasly does have a shout for that. Most underrated driver on the grid. I used to always say Ocon for that. But I'm not so sure now. I don't know. When was the last time I was like, Esteban Ocon, what a move? Do you know what I mean? Nah. Most underrated driver of the grid, Pierre Gasly, is a fair shout. Nah, you know the most underrated driver on the grid is Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll. Because he's not great, but he's nowhere but as bad as people think he is. You know what I mean? Lance Stroll's rating is rock bottom. The reality is, he's not great. But there's a big gap between not great and rock bottom. So Lance Stroll's the most underrated driver in the grid because 99% of fans would think he's absolutely terrible. And he's not. He's just not that good. Well, no, he's obviously it's all relative. It's all relative because Lance Stroll, when all said and done, Lance Stroll's one of the best drivers in the world. You know, for any pundit or commentator or anybody like me to say, "Oh, he's rubbish. Oh, they're rubbish," that's only in comparison to the other 19 best drivers in the world. So Lance Stroll is still a phenomenally talented, fast driver. He's got to be the most underrated because no one rates him. Hulkenberg as well. Nico Hulkenberg probably most underrated. I mean, the fact that I've been waffling on about this for 10 minutes tells you all you need to know about this race. I mean, to be fair, Lando Norris is now within a second, so you know, Lando's coming back. You know, it's not comfortable for Max, this. Actually. It's not comfortable. Stroll can drive. Yeah, Stroll can drive, just can't drive the level of his attitude. He doesn't really have a... I mean, I mean, this sounds a bit brutal, but does Lance Stroll have a personality? Like, you know... Or does he just hate media interviews? I don't know, one of the two. But yeah, Lewis is into the top 10 then. So Hamilton passes Stroll for 10th. But Norris is within a second of Max Verstappen now. It's a game on here. Oh, cheers, Kim. That'll help me to 600. We'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. Every 100 subscribers on this channel is like 10,000 subscribers for any other channel. It's a massive milestone. It takes a good couple of years. It takes a good 18 months to get 100. So I have to take it. And with 600 here we come. To be fair, Hulkenberg's been improving. Yeah, man. Yeah, Bottas. Yeah, but Bottas has become completely anonymous in my opinion. I don't know where his future lies, to be honest. I don't know. It's difficult when you're in that car, but I don't like this onboard camera from Lando Norris. If anyone's watching the coverage right now, what are you saying about this gyroscopic onboard camera that tilts in the corners? It's not for me. It's not for me. Maybe if you're 7 years old, look at the angles are going through the corners. It's not for me. It's a bit of a gimmick that will probably only appear at this circuit because it's got a couple of banked corners. You know, if I'm being a bit cynical about it, it's not for me. Everyone rates Bottas. Bottas is the most anonymous driver on the grid, in my opinion. I don't know where to rate him. It's impossible to rate Bottas. Maybe underrated isn't the right word. Maybe under the radar. Who? Oh, Bottas. Yeah, Bottas definitely under the radar, without a doubt. Both of them are in that kick Sauber. Zhou Guan Yu as well. How can you rate Zhou Guan Yu? He's never had a half decent car. It's very difficult. You know, what would happen if you stuck Zhou Guan Yu in a McLaren? It's impossible to gauge that. All of a sudden, would it be Zhou Guan Yu leads the race? You know, or would he be caught out and he'd still be like P12 and it's like, you're not the one, son. It's impossible to rate people. You only got your teammate as a guide. A gyro cam is cool. Each to their own. Each to their own. Above the driver's head. Oh, look at this. Lando Norris is right behind Max Verstappen for the lead of the Grand Prix. Down the straight, they come. Verstappen has to defend on the inside. We are into lap 17 of 72, and the battle for the lead is on between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. This race has come alive. Come on, then. Come on, because I thought that after lap 1, I thought it's another one of them days that we saw for an entire 2.5 years. I thought it's another one of them days. But not this season, not since Miami 2024. Verstappen has not had an easy ride. And this is another race again where even if Verstappen does come out of this victorious, at least the McLaren are there now. McLaren are there. But you need to beat him, Lando. You need to beat him. It's no good just putting him under pressure. You need to beat him. If you're new here, please make sure you've liked. Yeah, CL2. Yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, please do drop a like if you are new to the stream. Get yourself subscribed as well. I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship. And here we go there. This is going to happen right now. This is going to happen. Verstappen tries to defend it, but Lando Norris is down the inside. And Norris takes the lead in the Dutch Grand Prix and takes it away from home hero Max Verstappen. Norris regains the lead that he lost in the first 5 seconds of the race on lap 18 of 72. And it's game on for 2024. Come on, Lando. Come on, then. The problem is, the only issue with this is that every time you beat Verstappen and Verstappen comes home second, it's a 7-point swing in the championship. You're going to run out of races before you catch him. If it's Lando Norris P1 and Verstappen P2 for the rest of this season, Verstappen's still winning the championship. So you need to beat him, and you need something else as well. But this is a good start, though. This is a good start if you want to try and beat him in the championship. You've got 10 races to do it. And this is the way. Come on. Let's go, Lando. The days of Max. See, this, if I could have that comment on the stream at the top, that is the comment. The days of Max driving off into the sunset are over. Thankfully, yeah. That is it. F1 2024 in a sentence. So, but the thing is, after lap 1, lap 2, I was thinking, yeah, it's a sunset drive. It's one of those sunset days where he's just chilling. He can save the tyres. He can go for 40 laps on a set of tyres. He's not under pressure. He's managing a gap. The gap's going to be 6 seconds, 8. I honestly thought we were down one of them roads. But fair play to Lando Norris and McLaren. They are on it. They are on him. This is where Piastri needs... I know. It is always Lando, isn't it? You know... It is always Lando. I mean, a weird Hungarian Grand Prix aside, where that was some madness. It is always Lando that is challenging Verstappen for the win. Very rarely is it Oscar Piastri versus Max Verstappen. And I know, Piastri's only in his 2nd season. Norris is in his, 6th or 7th season. So, Lando Norris has got the experience and has been at the team for a long time. But I would like to see Oscar Piastri getting in the mix as well. He's still not repassed Russell. So Russell got Piastri at the start and has held on to that P3. So fair play to George Russell. Norris is saying, feels like the brakes are going long. There's a lot more wind all of a sudden. So he's complaining about his brake pedal a little bit. Pin this in chat. The days of Verstappen are over. I haven't got that capability. I'd have to log in on my phone. Pin a comment. If I'm pinning a comment, I'd pin the days of Max driving off into the sunset are over. That's what I'd pin. You know what I mean? I'd have to log in. I'm not even. I'm not. It's weird. I'm not even logged in on it on the stream to the chat. Kind of bad. Oh, Hamilton's got DRS. Oh, it is getting windy out there. Hamilton does have a look at Pierre Gasly into turn 1, but Gasly keeps the position for now. Let's see if we can pin that comment. Come on. Let's see if we can do it. Have I done it? That's the comment. That's the one. There you go. I know what I'm doing. People need to realise Lando is the future. Yeah. Yeah. Lando is the nearest, the nearest competitor to Verstappen on the grid right now. It is. And what was it? What was it I heard? I think it was at the Belgian Grand Prix. And someone in commentary was saying that Russell will be a little bit salty about that because Russell will want it to be Russell versus Verstappen, but instead the narrative is Norris versus Verstappen. Yeah, I don't know who said that, but I thought, yeah, he will be a bit salty because it's not George Russell, it's Lando Norris. But yeah, he's opened up the lead 2.5 seconds. Lando Norris leads the Dutch Grand Prix by 2.5 seconds. Russell's still holding on in third. Piastri's 1.2 behind Russell's. And then we have got this battle here with Leclerc on the back of Piastri for fourth. Then there's quite a gap to Perez. So Perez has been dropped by Leclerc, Piastri and Russell. Oh, look at this. And Piastri's having to defend in turn 1 from Charles Leclerc. Oh, Perez has been gapped in 6th. Sainz 7th. Gasly 8th. But under pressure from Lewis Hamilton on the soft tyres in 9th. Then it's the 2 Aston Martins 10th and 11th. Then it's Danny Ricciardo. Magnussen 13th, Ocon 14th, Hulkenberg 15th, Tsunoda 16th, Sargent 17th, Albon 18th, Bottas and Zhou at the back in the Saubers. And all 20 drivers still in the race then on lap 23. Ernesto, yo, LB, I missed your comment, but now I've realised. Yes, bro, how we doing? The thumbnail got you in, didn't it? Redesigned thumbnail, mate. Bright, bold, obvious. Bang. Straight to the point. Nah, it's good to see. It's good to see you, bro. And I saw your stream the other week where you were like, where you tried to find my channel and then you're going, oh, I'm not subscribed. Nah, thanks for popping in, dude. Yeah, welcome in, LB. And yeah, Ernesto Tiesto's in as well. Welcome in, Ernesto. Yeah, nah, yeah, it's all good, mate. It's all good. It's all good. Verstappen Team Radio. I can't go faster. He's been done. He's had it so clean and smooth for years. And now he's being challenged And I love it. Hamilton pits then from the soft tyres. But Norris has done him. Norris leads the race by 3.8 seconds. And I tell you what as well, the Constructors' Championship, it's over. It's over for Red Bull. You know, they had this monstrous lead of over 100 points. Red Bull Racing are not winning the Constructors' Championship this season. Lando Norris, I tell you what, McLaren are turning up here. The thing is, they're going to be chipping away at Verstappen with this 80-point buffer in the championship. It's right on the limit of it being just a little bit too far to catch him. You're going to need a Verstappen DNF or something, some unfortunate event somewhere along the line in these last 10 races to really make a dent. We need a race for this championship to really liven up and become a proper championship fight this season. We need an event to happen where Lando Norris cuts the gap by 25 points in a single afternoon. We need, then all of a sudden everything gets ramped up to 11 then. All of a sudden it's like, oh, now the gap's only 50 points. Let's go. Until then, until that event occurs, if Verstappen keeps picking up P2, P3, he'll do enough. He'll do enough because there's not enough races left. There are only 9 races left after this. So George Russell pits from P3. So, yeah, the pit stop window is now open. Lap 26 or 72. And no doubt that this pit stop from George Russell will trigger a chain reaction and they'll all be in within the next couple of laps, I would assume. Yeah, that wasn't ideal for Mercedes. They'd have been hoping to pit and come out in front of Leclerc and Alonso. In the end, it's not worked out. Russell comes back out onto the circuit, P9, after his stop, onto the hard tyres. So he'll go to the end from there, without a doubt. Piastri is being asked to go long, target +5 for Oscar Piastri. So I never like this. I never like the, you know, if you're a viewer of this channel, you know I don't like extending the stints. I think, in my opinion, it works out more often than not, more beneficial to react to a pit stop immediately than it does to play your plan B, a plan C, and go long. I would respond immediately, but I guess from McLaren's point of view, they're thinking, right, George Russell's out of the way. Let's show the true pace of the car for 5 laps. And hopefully the undercut, erase the benefit of the undercut, basically. But you're going to rely on Lando Norris on Piastri being rapid on old tyres, which is always a long shot. Replay of the George Russell pit stop. Yeah, a couple of seconds slower than ideal. But yeah, Hamilton down the inside of Esteban Ocon, then up to P14. Lewis is not going to get a lot of points out of this today, is he? Is Lewis looking at like a P8 here? When all's said and done, I think Lewis Hamilton's staring down the barrel at like a P8. If I were McLaren, you would have pitted Piastri getting some fresh tyres. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, CL2. To me, reacting to someone trying to pull an undercut immediately is what I'd want to be doing. I mean, obviously you want to be the guy that's doing the undercut, but yeah, look at this. And Martin Brundle's saying the same. McLaren have to react to this now. So Verstappen pits from second in the race. And yeah, they have to react to this. Norris has to react to this. If they start messing about with Norris now, going, oh, extend the stint, do another 7-8 laps. I'm telling you, I'll stress out, man. They have to react. It guarantees track position if you react immediately. If you start going, if Lando Norris start going, oh, do another 10 laps, you'll have fresher tyres at the end. Nah. Especially round here as well. Track position's key. You know, this is not a track where there's a lot of overtaking opportunities. Down into turn one, and that's your lot. Come in now. McLaren are getting ready in the box. They've got to do it, yeah. Fair play. They've reacted immediately. That's the only sensible thing to do. And Lando Norris pits from the lead of the Grand Prix. Now, what is the gap going to be when it comes out back onto the track? It's going to be closer than it was, put it that way. Oh, and it's a slightly slow pit stop from Lando Norris as well. There goes Sergio Perez. Verstappen's round the final corner. Yeah, it'll be enough. It'll be enough by quite a margin. He's going to have a 4 or 5 second lead. Well, not lead, because you've got Piastri, Perez and Sainz that haven't stopped yet, that are 1, 2, 3 on the track at the moment. About 29 to 72. I'd be pitting Piastri right now. And then what are you going to do with Sergio Perez? I think Sergio Perez, keep him out there. I think if you're Red Bull Racing, keep Sergio Perez out there. And say, listen, defend against Lando Norris for as long as you can and as hard as you can. And just use him as a pawn, basically. So Leclerc takes Gasly for P6. And Hamilton takes Hülkenberg down into turn 1. That's for P13. Yeah, seen a bit CL2. Thanks for joining the stream. And because you got yourself in live chat as well, you are entered into the next round of the Viewers' Championship, of which LB will be a part of. He probably doesn't even know it. But LB is in the Viewers' Championship round 15. Brilliant. I love to see it. Race is stressful. Too stressful. Go for a lie down. McLaren always prioritise Lando. Yeah. Well, I think what it is a team will always prioritise the lead driver. You know, Hungary aside, where they absolutely screwed Piastri. The general consensus, it's sort of like an unwritten rule in Formula One, isn't it? Where the lead driver in a team will always get the preferential strategy. And that's how it should be. It works out well. It's a game of merit. And if you get yourself ahead of your teammate, you deserve to be pitting at the optimal time. I mean, if the gap's big enough between the two cars anyway, you can double stack anyway, so it should never be a big deal anyway, that. But Sainz pits. Mid-race distance is approaching. He got himself in a race with us, hasn't he? He's got himself in a race. He doesn't even know it. I see who gets more points than Denver and Jordan, innit? Because Denver and Jordan have only been in like 1 or 2 races. Oh, funny. The Battle of Little Lever. What are they doing with Piastri? Why is Piastri on some wild plan B? I mean, I can understand why they're doing it with Perez. Oh, they've pitted Perez now anyway. So they pitted Perez. Perez is the one that should have stayed out there, and Piastri's the one that should have pitted. I don't know what they're trying with Piastri, man. But if they're not careful, they're going to end up where... What was Piastri before all this? P4, about a second behind George Russell. Let's see where he ends up. If he ends up... When this all unfolds at the end, if Piastri ends up better than P4 and a second behind George Russell, then fair play, big ups, respect. But if he ends up P6, P7, lessons have got to be learned. So Perez has pitted and he's on the fresh tyres. He's done Alonso. I think that's the first overtake I've seen down into that chicane there. Never will not be in the race. He's in the bin. I know. I've seen his Facebook story. Bin bag mode. Hulkenberg's got to move on. Right, so they're telling Piastri to box now. So he's got what, a 5-lap fresher tyres, something like that. Which they'll be hoping pays off in the last half dozen laps of the race. It's not for me, that. It's not for me, that. Listen, it might work out. It might work out. But bear this in mind. Bear this in mind. Oscar Piastri was P4 and a second behind George Russell for P3 before all this. So let's have a look. The only hope is that Oscar Piastri in this last sort of 6-7 laps has been as fast as the guys on new tyres. It's just not realistic. Oh, it might be close, actually, with George Russell. Nah, Russell will have him easily. It's not that bad, actually. It's not that bad, actually. Yeah, no, it's not that bad, actually. No, the pace of the McLaren's decent. It's not that bad, actually. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be. Yeah, because now he's lost... Yeah, he's only lost about 4 seconds out of that. And... He's got now it's just absolute 100% pace now for Oscar Piastri. No messing about. So yeah, no, in the end, it's actually not that bad. I wanted to join you in Denver last night and Demcast when the kids wouldn't let you. Oh no, yeah, not seen you for a while, mate. Not seen you for a while. Yeah, we had it was a good sesh last night. You have to try and jump on the next one, mate. Whenever that may be. .5 second lead. Go on, Lando. This season could get... What McLaren need? Piastri could be vital in this Drivers' Championship. Because Piastri, obviously, you need Norris to be beating Verstappen near enough at every single race. But what McLaren also need is Piastri to beat Verstappen. That's the key. That's the key. if they can rack up McLaren 1-2s, not only will the Constructors' Championship be absolutely a done deal, but that's the way to beat Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. They need another car in between Norris and Verstappen. Even if it's Russell or Hamilton or Leclerc or Perez, you need two cars to beat Verstappen every single race. That's the only way you're going to beat him, unless Verstappen has a mechanical failure or some unusual event like his brakes sticking on in Australia, something like that. Because Verstappen can afford to lose 7 points to Norris. It'll be close come Abu Dhabi. It would be close. But he can just about afford it. Verstappen can just about afford to come second to Lando Norris for the rest of the season and get away with it. What he wouldn't be able to afford to do is to be beaten by two cars. Then he's in trouble. Then it's eyes down looking, because here we go. Yes, McTominay to Napoli. He'd probably do very well. He'd definitely jump on the next one. Yeah, dude. Norris has got this absolutely nailed on at mid-race distance. 9-second lead. This is getting a bit boring, isn't it? What is this McLaren domination? I don't like it. Nah. Who ordered McLaren domination? Not me. No, listen, I can deal with it for a couple of years. No, this is good. This is good for the sport that McLaren are the fastest car. And that is good news. Yeah, so Piastri's got to rock up to make this strategy work. Yeah, so Piastri's got to rock up to the back of George Russell and pass him. So what's the deal with Leclerc? How has Leclerc jumped the pair of them in the pit stops? He must have done. Has Leclerc undercut Russell and Piastri? Is that what has happened? Because it was Russell, Piastri, Leclerc. Perez still in no man's land in P6. Sainz, Hamilton. Both Hasses are in the points now. Hulkenberg and Magnussen 9th and 10th. Albon just outside the points there. Gasly's in P12 at the minute, but is everyone pitted? See, you've got the Aston Martins down in 13th and 14th, but that seems out of kilter to me. Yeah, Leclerc undercut him, did he? Has everyone pitted, Sean? Because Aston Martin were 9th and 10th and now 13th and 14th. Am I wrong in thinking the Hasses, are they still out there? Or what? Or has something happened? Oh, Stroll's been done for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, dude. Rookie mistake, dude. A rookie error from Lance Stroll. Who was saying he was underrated? But here we go then. Piastri versus Russell for P4 is on. He's got to pass him now. Pass him now. Go on, Oscar. This is key. Go on, Oscar. Russell defends down the inside. Oscar Piastri trying round the outside. The wheel to wheel in turn 1. And Piastri round the outside gets the move done and up into P4. Piastri on the alternate strategy, on the fresher tyres, has caught George Russell and passed him within 5 laps. And now he's got to charge down Charles Leclerc, but we could have 2 McLarens on the podium here. The top 3 could finish as they started, which sounds like an incredible race, doesn't it? But look at this. What is this midfield battle? We've got like 4 abreast going into turn 1 here. What is going on? Gasly versus Albon versus Alonso versus Stroll versus Magnussen, and all of them were going down into turn 1 side by side. Oh, Piastri might. The Piastri on the fresher tyres. He's coming in clutch. Magnussen started on the hards, yeah, so he's still out there, I guess. And he's just been done by the whole pack, yeah. I think that's what's happened. So Magnussen was P10. He's now P14 in a lap. It is what it is. If you stay out there for 41 laps on a set of hard tyres, you're going to get overtaken. Sainz fastest lap, go on. Yeah. And he's within DRS range of Sergio Perez as well, so Perez under pressure from a charging Carlos Sainz. Lap 41 of 72, Lando Norris leads the race by 10.2 seconds. This hits hard as well, because this is Max Verstappen's home race that he's dominated for 3 consecutive years. This is a heavy hit, this. Lando Norris could do with fastest lap as well, so that the gap, the point swing is 8 points instead of 7. He needs every single point. Look at this replay of these 5 then going down the pit straight. Yeah, he was. That was what he reminded me of the Indy 500 coming out of the final corner. Whoa, it's just dangerous, says Albon on T radio, yeah. Nah, it's just racing, bro. It's just racing. Did Kevin Magnussen get done by 4 people down the pit straight? Yeah, he did. Kevin Magnussen, that has got to be a first. Kevin Magnussen's been done by 4 cars heading into turn 1. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Absolutely swamped. If you look up in the dictionary and you type in swamped, you are going to see a clip of that, mate. Kevin Magnussen getting done by 4 cars down the pit straight. Absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen that before. At least not a car that's not got a problem. You know what I mean? All right, if you've got a puncture, you're getting done by 4 cars. What? Nah. Only danger you have children. What are you talking about? Oh, that's it, Kim. That's it, you know. If you're just watching in the background, get yourself in live chat, because you will be entered into the next round of the Viewers' Championship. And it'll probably be, I'll probably do that on Wednesday night. But it's going to be a late one. It's going to be like Wednesday night, 10:30 p.m. or something like that. We'll be going till gone midnight. But it's the only way I can do it, because I'm working till 9:30 at night all week. So, yeah, and I'm not doing it in the morning. So, yeah, late night Viewers Championship on Wednesday night. Join me for that. Everyone that entered a message into live chat will be entered into that. We've probably got about 15, 18 people in it so far, something like that. We usually get between 15 and I've had as many as 29 people. That's a proper race. Wednesday banger, yeah. Yeah, hopefully not a banger race for me. Hopefully I keep the You know, I did a little video. I don't know if you saw. I did a little video of like the results so far in the Viewers Championship, like top 3 in every single round. I don't know if you've seen that. But I had a good little spell, you know. I was second, third, and third in rounds 6, 7, and 8, and since then I've been last. I don't know what's happened to me. I'm doing this. I'm pulling a Sergio Perez, mate. I had a good start, and now it's absolutely fallen off a cliff. I can't score a point. Another weird one I found in making that video of where it's everyone who's been in the top 3 in every race. I found out that Salty Dog has never been on the podium in the Viewers Championship. And yet, because he's been in every stream and every race, he's still right up there in the championship. So he must have had a few P4s, P5, P6. In other words, consistency. He's not even finished a race in the top 3 and he's right up there in the championship. Consistency is key. You'll be in the race, yeah. What's your YouTube name? Gojo Sensei. Is it a character or something? Is it a character for a program? But yeah, Gojo Sensei will be in the next round of the Viewers Championship. Yeah, cheers, Todd. Thanks for being in the stream. That's K-Mag for you. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's the reply to Alex's. This is just dangerous. Yeah, that's K-Mag for you. But yeah, thanks for being in, Todd. You're in the next round of the Viewers Championship, so don't worry about that. You've secured your seat. You're not on the stream quite a number of times. Somebody moved us 12th to 8th in the standings. I know. Sometimes I'll do a race where I put everybody who's ever been in any of the streams this season. I'll put everybody in. It'd be like a 60-car race. And so there's some people that might have only joined for one race that all of a sudden they win a race 13 rounds in, which is a bit weird. But yeah, sometimes people get, yo, developer! Death has occurred. I'm still kicking, mate. Oh, it's side by side between Perez and Sainz into turn 1. This is the battle for P6. But welcome to the stream, Denver, and welcome to round 15 of the Viewers Championship. You have got yourself in, bruv. But how are we doing? How are we feeling? I saw your Facebook story, mate. You didn't look in the best of health. Arsenal shirt to bed, mate. Man woke up in the morning still wearing his Arsenal kit in bed. Aye, it's a different scale. It is a different scale still in the bin bag. Ah, funny. Hey, your boy Piastri is on for a podium here, Denver. Piastri is on the back of Charles Leclerc for 3rd. Come on. It might not be this lap, but it might be the next lap. Oh, but he's got DRS. It could be now. Oh, no. Next lap. Piastri's getting Leclerc. Oh, and look at this. There's Sainz has just dive bomb round the outside of Sergio Perez into turn 1. And Sainz takes P6 ruthlessly there. Round the outside of Sergio Perez. Meanwhile, Lando Norris leads the Grand Prix by 12.5 seconds. What a drive from Lando Norris. And Piastri's got to get the move done this time. Piastri's got to get the move done this lap, because if he doesn't, then you can get stuck. You've got it in this game. You've got to rock up to the car and you've got to pass him immediately, because if not, he learns where you're quick. He learns your DRS, where you're using your battery, and it all gets figured out, and all of a sudden you're stuck there for 20 laps. You need to rock up, take him by surprise, bang, done, job done, and on to the next. This has got to be it now. He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream, but the car's just not quick enough in a straight line, and Leclerc holds on for another lap. There's only one way to crack another Leo. Crack another Leo and dig your grave in back garden. No, mate. Bank holiday weekends hit you like a sledgehammer. Mate, do you know how that Demcast ended up? I mean, apologies to anybody, F1 fans in the stream right now. Do you know how that Demcast ended up? Ended up with you asleep, Denver, Dugan asleep, Dougie fading, and me half asleep. I looked at the stream, I was like, there's 3 people asleep here. 3.5 people asleep on that stream out of 4. I was like, it's time to call it a day, mate. That was about 4 in the morning. Anyway, back to the Grand Prix. Mate, it was a sleep along. It was a sleep along. If that Demcast was recorded, the last half hour of that is just a sleep along, mate. Everyone's just absolutely conked out. Funny that. Funny though. Palfy were at last man standing, mate. Right, Hamilton's coming in for a second time in the Grand Prix. Did I just say Grand Race? Mate, Hamilton pits again. It's a 2-stop strategy is not the one. I mean, he's going to be rapid on a brand new set of soft tyres. He is going to be rapid, but it's not the one, is it? A 2-stop strategy round Zandvoort. It's not plan A. It's not even plan B. But he is going to be quick. So you never know. He'd be on an absolute rampage. You think P8 is a man? I said that before, Sean. I was like, Lewis is looking at a P8 here. He's 27 seconds behind Perez. The gap, that's an insane gap. Right, the gap between Perez and Hülkenberg was such a chasm that Hamilton was able to pit and come out and not lose a position. That is criminal, isn't it? You've basically got a League One and a League Two. You've basically got a Premier League and a Championship. You've got a top 8, and then you've got a 30-second gap, and then everybody else. That's I don't know how that's even occurred. Literally, Ernesto. Literally. And then you've got Lando Norris out front in a league of his own this afternoon. Yeah, Hamilton's in P8. Pits. Loses 27 seconds in a pit stop. Comes out of the pits in P8. Such is the gap between the top 4 teams and the rest of the field. It is terrible. How was Norris's start? Terrible. Yeah. But he has saved himself since then. I can't sit here and laugh at Lando Norris, mate. He leads the race by 13.5 seconds. But he didn't have a good start. Max Verstappen was in the lead by, 3 seconds into the race. Verstappen was in the lead. But Lando Norris kept with him. I think the gap got out to 3 or 4 seconds. Then Norris reined him in, I think on lap 17, somewhere around there. Norris retook the lead. So, can't sit here and laugh at a bad start from Lando Norris. I mean, he made itself, he made the afternoon a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. But fair play. He got himself together. And by lap 17, he was back, retook the lead. And since then, he's just absolutely disappeared off into the sunset. And it's been a fantastic race for Lando Norris. We've still, of course, got 20 laps to go. But it's looking very good. And obviously, as well, welcome to the stream, Anthony, and welcome to the next round of the Viewers' Championship. As well, Denveloper will be in the next round of the Viewers' Championship as well. He's been a few rounds since he was last in, so big ups as well. You tell you, Lando's Never starts and never good, only after 5 laps he's ready. Yeah, we have seen that. That is a general theme. Lando Norris gets done at the start, and then 5 laps later he's like, right, all right, let's kick into gear. And Norris couldn't start fighting an overcrowded prison. I've not heard that one before, but that's good. If McLaren and Red Bull were on equal pace, Norris wouldn't have been leading the race. So in other words, Verstappen's the best driver on the grid, and I'll agree with you on that. If McLaren and Red Bull were exactly equal, if it was just painted a different colour and it was the same car, yeah, I'm not watching anymore. Because Verstappen's winning all 24 races. Zach's buzzing is in the viewers' race. I hope he wins it. But as you know, it's just random, so you never know. Zach could win it. He could be 20th, but you know, Sean, as in CMZY Sean, he was in one, won it. Not seen him since. You know what I mean? You can have beginner's luck. You can, because it's completely random, you can just enter a race, bang, win it. Never seen again. McLaren now clear the fastest car. And that's what we need. That's what we need, Sean. That is what we need. Especially with Verstappen having an 80-point lead in the championship, it's definitely what we need. In fact, what we could do with is a cheeky Mercedes or Ferrari being the second fastest car, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, Verstappen struggling to get a podium. Then that's your move. Then, because like I said before, Verstappen can afford to finish second and still bring it home. McLaren could do with Piastri beating Verstappen as well, but it's not going to happen today, I don't think. We've got, 16, 17 laps to go. And the thing is, Piastri has got stuck. Like I said, you need to rock up. He needed to rock up to Leclerc and pass him immediately. As soon as that didn't happen, it's like, you know, I said, you might just get stuck, and that's what's happened. He's got stuck in the dirty air. He's got stuck. The tyres are now, you know, he's taken that initial life out of the tyres. So the tyres are wearing out, and all of a sudden he's just got stuck behind Leclerc. And the podium, you know, is looking less and less likely as the laps tick by. But yeah, 15 seconds is crazy. 15 seconds is like peak Verstappen mid-2023. This isn't the biggest gap from 1-2 in F1 history. What are you on? What do you mean? You must be. You are definitely taking the piss there. No, you definitely no. Dude, no, you've got to be having a laugh. Verstappen won probably. It does, CL2. It does. Verstappen's. Yeah, I knew you. I knew you were on a wind up. I mean, I was thinking, CL2 only just started watching the last 2 or 3 races. And I was like, no, because he predicts like Gasly and all that. He knows his stuff. I was like, nah. I wonder, in fact, what is the biggest winning margin? I reckon it'd be like in the 60s. You know what I mean? Like Jim Clark, 2 laps ahead of everyone or something like that. Yeah, Jackie Stewart, you know what I mean? Sterling Moss beats everyone by 10 minutes. I bet there'll be some absolutely insane margins of victory in like the 60s. 50s, 60s, 70s. There'll be some insane things where 3 cars finished the race and the winning margin was a quarter of an hour. You know what I mean? There'll be some absolutely wacky results from way back. The biggest winning margin I've probably seen is like 40 something seconds. Like in the modern era, in the last few years, like 40 something second win, something like that. I don't think I've seen a winner where they've lapped everybody. That would be absolutely savage, wouldn't it? I don't think I've seen that. Jackie Stewart, there you are. I knew it'd be something like that. I said Jackie Stewart as well. I was joking, but yeah. Yeah, 3 minutes 55 seconds. That's a good 2.5 laps. Do you know what I mean? I knew it'd be something like that. What are you saying, Sean Tan? Joe hasn't been great. You do feel bad for him. I know, I said that before, like, it's really hard to rate someone like Zhou Guanyu. I said it before, like, what if you stuck Zhou Guanyu in that McLaren? Just for a week? You know, what would he be thoroughly exposed and not even get into Q3? Or would he be where Piastri is now? How do we know how good Zhou Guanyu is? We don't. There's a handful of drivers like that where they've not had a comparable teammate to gauge it against. To gauge it against a Valtteri Bottas who is so under the radar, he virtually doesn't exist, man. It's so difficult to rate someone that doesn't have a good benchmark and is in the worst car. But let you get your facts. Yeah, Gasly dropped. Yeah, Gasly might sneak a point at best. But yeah, Jackie Stewart, 1969 Spanish Grand Prix, 3 minutes 59. That's a joke. That's ridiculous. Also, I sort of knew it'd be something wild like that. Oh, Albon down the inside of Magnussen into turn 1 gets a move done, but it is only for P17, so we're not getting tops off and jumping around the house on that one. But Norris leads Verstappen by 16 seconds. I mean, this has got to be the biggest winning margin by McLaren. And mind you, the 1-2 in Hungary was pretty good as well, wasn't it? McLaren. I can't actually believe how much they've progressed in the last 12 months. I think it was the British Grand Prix last year when McLaren went from being, P7, P9, P8, P10, P11, and then all of a sudden, bang, they were challenging for wins. Just all of a sudden, it literally was, all of a sudden, British Grand Prix in the lead. And then they've come out of the blocks this year, and, I sat here round 4, round 5, and I was going, it's another year of Verstappen. It's another Verstappen 2023 situation. And then since Miami, and even when Verstappen won in Imola, he was chased down. He was chased down in those last half dozen laps. And his margin of victory was like less than a second. And you knew it was on then. You knew it was on. Even though Verstappen had won that, whatever they call it, Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Even though Verstappen had won that, we all knew it was with a different flavour. It was a Verstappen win, but it was with the asterisks of under big pressure. And from that moment on, this season has been... I mean, this hasn't been a phenomenal race. But it's good for the championship. It's good for the championship. Gasly on Audi with Hülkenberg would be ideal. Gasly's signed up with Alpine. I don't know how many years into the future, but Gasly's extended his deal with Alpine. But yeah, I don't know who's going to partner Hülkenberg, though. I don't think they've decided that. I don't know who's going to part. I don't know if they go. Will they go Hulkenberg, Bottas at Sauber, Hulkenberg, Zhou, Hulkenberg, Schumacher? Come on. New sponsorship proper 12 F1 car pit crew. Fueled by Leos, yeah. Actually, I'll count Austria where Norris finished 4th last year. That was the beginning of their rise. Yeah, it was Austria the round before Silverstone last year, yeah. Yeah, where they turned up. Since you post that thing, exactly. Exactly. I was sat here after the first 4 races and going, how can I make this entertaining? It's going to be Verstappen by 30 seconds every week. Well, they must have heard me. The F1 gods were like, right, he's getting to the end of his tether. It's time to switch it up. Gasly takes Hulkenberg for P9 then. How is this all panning out then? So we've got 11 laps to go. Norris has absolutely dominated since Reed's taken the lead on lap 17. He has not looked back. He's been extending that lead ever since. It currently sits at 16.5 seconds. Leclerc's still 3rd, but Piastri's there. Piastri's just outside of DRS range. He's just on the cusp of being a second behind Leclerc, is Piastri. So, you know, maybe he will put the hammer down in these last 10 laps and really give it a go for the podium against Leclerc. Then we've got Sainz 5th. Perez 6th, and then the 2 Mercs of Russell and Hamilton. It's not been a great afternoon for George Russell, has it? This he was 3rd. He got Piastri at the start, and then sat P3 ahead of Piastri for the first stint. And yeah, you know, Russell's dropped down. Hamilton's improved a few positions and they've met in the middle, and Mercedes looking at 7th and 8th in the race. Beaten by both Ferraris. I wouldn't have had that on the bingo card. What did you... Exactly, CL2. Do you know what my mum reckons? My mum reckons there's a big conspiracy in F1. My mum reckons that someone has genuinely stepped in and to make Formula One interesting again. She thinks that higher power has stepped in. I'm like, no, McLaren just got good. People have caught up. It's just good again. She's like, nah. Someone's had a word. I'm like, what do you mean? That's like trying to explain to her. No, McLaren have brought upgrades. People have improved. The grid's concertinaing it up. We're at the end of the regulation. You know, she's like, nah. Someone's had a word behind the scenes and they've made this sport more interesting by, you know, falsely. I'm like, and I can't convince her. I can't convince her. No. She has a point though. Yeah, because from an outside point of view, if you don't follow Formula One, it's like it's been Verstappen for 2.5 years, or now all of a sudden it's good again. All of a sudden we're getting a different winner every week. Hang on a minute, there's something fishy going on. Someone's had a word. The big CEOs have been on the phone going, mate, this sport's dead. It's losing millions of viewers by the week. Should we spice it up a bit? Should we give McLaren a new front wing and a floor and we need to get the viewers back on board here. It's a bit fishy, isn't it? It's a bit fishy how all of a sudden we're getting different winners every week. 7 different winners in 14 races. You know what I mean? Bit sus, mate. No, it's about time that it was actually competitive again. I mean, I say competitive again. Lando Norris has absolutely dominated this. Most dominant win of the season. No, I think Verstappen probably in the first 2 or 3 rounds he probably had a more dominant win. There's also Bortoletti, who's managed by Alonso. You think you know your 2025 champion already? Go on. Go on, who's your 2025 champion? Yeah, hope all is well, Anto, mate. Hope you're doing well, bro. We are now just waiting for the official announcement of the next big fish in Adrian Newey. Do you think he'll continue in Formula One, Adrian Newey? Is he going to Aston Martin, Adrian Newey? Isn't that the latest? Isn't that the latest on Adrian Newey that he's going to Aston Martin? Lando Norris. As a McLaren fanboy, this is a big, huge W. Yeah, it is. It might even be this year, CL2. It only takes a Verstappen DNF for this championship to be absolutely on. Big time. Or McLaren to beat him consistently and both of them to beat him consistently. They've got to rein him in quick time, though. Red Bull get big. Oh, Red Bull bet big and went over. They reap the benefits of their advantage. Now they seemingly finally feeling the penalties for their overages. Apparently Alpine also offered him a lot of money. Would he go to Alpine? Oh, God, I don't know. It's hard to predict where Adrian Newey's going to go. I was thinking retirement, really, for Adrian Newey, but you never know. I would have thought he'd step away, to be honest, and just put his feet up. You know what I mean? Get the slippers out, surely. But if he's still got the drive and the desire and still wants another project, I mean, it's good for the sport to have Adrian Newey in it. So I hope he does carry on in Formula One, but I wouldn't be so sure he will do. You know what I mean? He doesn't need the money, does he? He'd be absolutely made. He could just live out the rest of his life on in the Maldives on the beach with a cocktail and his feet up. But, you know. Ferrari's most likely not going for him now. See, that's the one I would have liked the most. That's the one for me where I would have been like, oh, Hamilton and Adrian Newey both join Ferrari. Oh, that would have been the most exciting one for me. You probably want him Aston Martin, don't you, Sean? For give Alonso one final like championship challenge. You know what I mean? That would be good as well. I would like to see that. Could you imagine that? Like 41-year-old Fernando Alonso in a championship fight out of nowhere. You know, that would be a beauty. Whatever happened with Haas getting the cars confiscated? Yeah, no, I don't know much about that. I only saw like one article about that where is it a Russian sponsor that they had a few years ago and they still owe them money or something? The bailiffs turned up at the race and you know what I mean? The bailiffs were hovering round or something. But Ayo Komatsu, the team boss, said, oh, no, you know, they'll be paid what they're owed. So I don't know, but maybe it was like a bit of a threat, like, you know, the walls are closing in around you, pay your debts. I don't know. Maybe I think maybe they cut off a sponsorship too soon or something, or I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I think it was a Russian sponsor, and then, you know what I mean, all went a bit sour, didn't it, 2-3 years ago? Nothing wrong with wearing slippers, exactly. Fred Vasseur said Ferrari, a new technical director to be announced. It could be Mike Elliott, who's been rumoured to join Ferrari. Good recruitment, that. They bailed on the Russians. Yeah, they kept the money, something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, Urad Kelly. The Mazepin. Yeah, Mazepin, yeah. First win for McLaren at Zandvoort since 1985. Now, that sounds more extreme than it is. What he's left out in that is that we haven't raced here since probably then until 3 years ago. So it's not like McLaren have been racing around this track for 40 years trying to win it. You know what I mean? McLaren haven't won at this circuit since 1985. Bro, we haven't been here for 40 years. So you're not going to win a race that doesn't happen, are you? But yeah, this is the fourth race back. This is the fourth year that the Dutch Grand Prix is back in the modern era. And the first three have been a Max Verstappen walkover. 3 pole positions, 3 easy wins. But the fourth iteration has gone another way, big time. This is a big big statement from McLaren. This, because it's not just oh, we're on a par with Verstappen, we can fight him. This is, we've smashed Verstappen at his own race. This is a big statement, this. You know, it's one thing to sort of, oh, we've caught up with him, we can fight Max Verstappen, oh, he still beat us, but we're only 2 seconds behind. You know, that's one flavour. Now, they've put themselves in a boat where we have just rocked up to Max Verstappen's home turf and smashed him by 20 seconds. This is a bigger statement than you think it is. And whilst it's not been a phenomenal race and edge of your seat and, you know, overtakes every single lap, this has been a massive statement from McLaren of, we are now the team. We're the team. To smash him by 20 seconds on his own beach. On his own beach. It's been a while since Max Verstappen's been smashed by 20 seconds on a level playing field. Whew. His Lando's going quicker. Max is going slower. Leclerc and Piastri are gaining on Max. Yeah, I have to say both Ferrari guys did a great job. Yeah, I didn't expect, especially if Leclerc keeps the podium as well. You know, that comment's even more relevant if Leclerc does secure the podium. But I didn't think that both Ferraris have beat both Mercs. Sainz has done a really good job. Did Sainz start, with Sainz 10th or 11th? Maybe 10th with the Albon DSQ, but so starting 10th, finishing 5th. A great afternoon. Leclerc, where did he qualify? 5th, something like that. 6th, maybe. So, yeah, Ferrari have done very well here, especially, like I say, if Leclerc does hold on for this podium, which is looking like he will do. The gaps between Leclerc and Piastri is 1.5 seconds with 2 laps to go, so it'll have to be a hell of a final lap duel if Piastri's going to try it. But yeah, fair play to Ferrari. Perez P6, 2 Mercs. Like I said before, Russell's dropped down, Hamilton's dropped up. They've, you know, gained a few positions. They've met in the middle. P7, P8. Not a great day. A day to forget for Mercedes. Gasly P9. All right, gets a couple of points. Alonso looking to scrape a point in P10. Armin van Buuren is going to, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the DJ, Armin van Buuren, is going to wave the checkered flag in a couple of minutes' time. Don't wave it a lap too early. Yeah, Leclerc's still over a second. Yeah, I think Leclerc will see it through now from here. What else? This isn't a 10 out of 10. This is 7 out of 10. Oh, that's being generous. I mean, that's with the McLaren cap on though, isn't it? That I don't think it's. I mean, if you're a Lando Norris fan, you're giving it 10 out of 10 all day long, like. But I'll have to. From a neutral point of view, there's a realistic score to give this race, and it's not in the top end. Put it that way. So yeah, Sainz 10 to 5th. That's good. Is that a new paint job on the Mercs? I did think that when I saw practice as well. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, with the stripe going. Lisa Lama. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Viewers' Championship. He finished wheel to wheel and won by 0. Well, exactly. Then it's a 10. Yeah, they go side by side across the line. It's a photo finish. Then yeah, that's a 10. Based on entertainment, yeah, you're more near the ballpark of what I was thinking, Sean. Yeah, you're more in the realistic ballpark there. But here we go then. Lando Norris round the final corner. And Lando Norris wins the 2024 Dutch Grand Prix by 22 seconds. He's absolutely smashed Max Verstappen on his home turf. McLaren and Lando Norris dominate the Dutch Grand Prix in 2024. Verstappen has to settle for second. It's going to be Charles Leclerc. Oh, Norris got the fastest lap of the race as well. So it's an 8-point swing in the championship. Leclerc's going to finish third in the Ferrari. Piastri fourth, Sainz fifth, Perez sixth, Pierre Gasly. Oh, no, Russell seventh. I don't know what's happening. Why is Hamilton dropping? Oh no, there's something going wrong with this. But yeah, Russell 7th, Hamilton 8th, Gasly 9th, Alonso 10th. So Alonso gets the final point in P10. Thank you all for being in the stream today. Please do drop me a like if you haven't already. Please do get yourself subscribed. I'm gonna, before I go, I always rate the race out of 10 and driver of the day. Driver of the day is a bit of an obvious one. It has to go to Lando Norris, doesn't it? For winning. He's not just won the race, he's smashed it by 23 seconds. A fantastic drive from Lando Norris and has to get driver of the day. I mean, you know, honourable mentions, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc's had a good afternoon. Yeah, but driver of the day, Lando Norris for McLaren. Look at the leaderboard glitch. I know, yeah, he's glitching all. He was like, Hamilton 17th. I was like, what the hell? Has he broken down the last lap? And he snagged fastest lap. Yeah, crucial. He needs every point he can get. Hey, watching from the start, but on your other account. No, yeah, welcome in. Right. Lando Norris driver of the day. Rate the race. Not good. Not great. 4 out of 10 race, really. I know. Listen, I know it was great from a McLaren point of view. It's a 10. I understand that. I fully understand that. From a Lando Norris fan point of view, it's a 10. He's won the race by 23 seconds. But from a neutral point of view, I know I say that with a Mercedes cap on, but I'm not a Mercedes fan. I'm a Alexander Albon fan. Take from that what you want. But from a neutral point of view, it's a 3 or 4 out of 10 race. Really. Like, no BS. It's not a great race. It's a good result for the championship, you know. Fair play. It's a good result for the championship, but it's a 4 out of 10 race. I can't big it up. It's a great result, but it is not a race that I will rewatch over and over again. Put it that way. But yeah, 4. Yeah. 6. Yeah, I could see why you could give it a 6. Yeah, glad you got into the chat, Lisa. Entered yourself into the next round of the championship as well. Yeah. But thank you everyone for being in the stream. Hope you've enjoyed the watch along. But I'm glad Formula One's back. I think it's we're back to back, aren't we? We're back to back. I've lost track of the calendar. What have we got? I know there's a race next weekend. Which one is it? I don't even know what's coming next. Is it Monza? can't even. The app's glitched. Oh, but the app's not even, my F1 app's not even working. I can't even see the calendar. But I'm sure it's, is it Monza next? Sean Tan, you'll know, innit? I know we're back to back. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, Italian Grand Prix. Then a weekend off, then Azerbaijan, back to back with Singapore, and then another 4-week break. So yeah, join me. I've got all the information. Yeah, join me next weekend. I'll try and do qualifying as well, because I wasn't able to do qualifying for this race. But I'll try and be live for qualifying as well, for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. So please do join me for that. Thank you everybody for joining the stream. We also had a few new people in as well today, so big ups to everybody. And it was all right. I mean, it's great from a McLaren point of view. Lando Norris, without a doubt, driver of the day. Someone quickly Google it. Yeah, me. I quickly Googled it, Kim. But yeah, lost track of the championship. Oh my God, Dougie. Welcome to the stream at the end. Oh no, was you put a comment in at the beginning, didn't you, Dougie? Yeah, no, you're all right. You're right. You've topped and tailed the stream, Dougie, in terms of comments. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining. I'll be back Saturday. Well, in fact, no, Viewers Championship will be late on Wednesday night. Thinking it'll probably be around 10:30 Wednesday night, Viewers Championship. So everyone that's been in live chat will be entered into that. And then it'll be Italian Grand Prix weekend this coming weekend. So do join me for that. Lando Norris driver of the day, 4 out of 10 race. Not a classic, but a good result for the championship. And I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. Please do drop a like. Lee Kime, you got yourself in to the Viewers Championship at the last very second. But cheers, and catch you all soon for the Viewers Championship, late night Viewers Championship, Wednesday night, about 10:30. Join me for that. See you soon. Thank you all for being in, and Formula 1 is back.